Hello and welcome viewers to PMC English. I'm Idris and today I'm going to start with this quotation. Very simple but very powerful, and it says that well done is better than well said. So we have a man here who is man of practice. Left engineering, rather civil engineering, and went to farming, and from farming to organic farming since 2009. He is none other than Prakruthivanam Prasad. A very warm welcome to our studio, sir.
Namaste.
So first of all, as I met you, it was like a random meet, and I'm really happy to meet you when I came to know about your journey, the way you have been with nature and you are trying to be with nature, and you're also telling others to be with nature, live a simple life. So very first question is why organic farming is important?
Basically, the man started living close to the forest and nature. Right. So the forest was giving the entire food. That's why we were called as hunter-gatherers. We used to hunt some people, and some used to gather food around the forest. And forest used to hug us like a mother and give us health, happiness and everything. You know, even the tribals now, they are so happy. Right. They don't have a driving license, they don't have a bank account, they don't have flyovers, and still they are happy. Right. We are all struggling in these big cities, trying to find where the happiness is. That's why we go to clubs, we drink, we booze, we do what not.
A number of things, yes.
And still you are not happy. And you are again searching it.
Right.
This is what the nature teaches us. See, when you go to mother, she knows what kind of happiness the child is needed. Whether it's a hunger, whether it's a soothing, whether it's any other thing. Like that, when you moved out from farming, from forest, and the first destruction for the humanity started when you started farming. When you were with the nature, there was no need of farming. Right. When you want to remove the forest and started farming itself, the destruction for the nature has started.
When the man started farming, cutting the trees, going against the nature, then this destruction has started, rather mass destruction.
Yes. So this destruction could have taken some thousands and lakhs of years.
Right.
But industrialization has fastened this kind of destruction, and we are seeing the ice age in Himalayas are melting down. And Stephen Hawking recently said this earth is going to be useful for the humans or any living being only for another 1,000 years. So this is going to be an end. But still you are in a mad rush, so expanding cities, burning fossil fuels, and and now we are searching where to live. Leaving this earth, we want to go to moon and Mars. This is our plan.
This is the reason that a human being have to be with the nature,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because the real peace is there in the nature, yes. Right?
See what happens. Okay, when the population is increasing, probably the food from the forest was not sufficient. So they started removing the forest and doing farming. Then they found after a few years of farming, the crops are not coming up well. Right. That's why traditionally, about 10,000 years ago, from Krishna's time or whatever, there was a scripture saying that if you put 28 cartloads of cow dung, you can grow the crops without interfering or without decreasing in yields in the same place. Otherwise, they used to smother the forest here for a few years and then they go and keep on removing the forest. So the sustainable farming has started at least in India about 10,000 years ago. So there is a big history for India about organic farming. So this is also cow-based farming because we had a lot of cows, and there is no need of petrol or diesel to plow the land because the cows were doing it. And the dung and urine and the remnants of the cow used to be brought to the soil, and the soil microbes are regenerated. See what is soil? We call in India soil as Mother Earth because soil has life. If you put a soil in the microscope and see, you can see millions and millions of microbes, bacteria and other things which are helpful for the nature. 1 gram of soil will have 100 crores. 100 crores of microbes in a virgin soil, not the soil in Hyderabad city or elsewhere. The real soil in the forest will have so many microbes, and the minerals which are taken from the soil are consumed by the plants, and plants again will give back the litter, fruits and flowers and leaf, and that is again converted and given back to the microbes in the soil. They consume that food and give the nutrients to the plant. That's a beautiful ecology was there for thousands of years. Now we have removed all that and we started putting a lot of chemicals and spoiled the soil. That means the microbes have been mostly eliminated. So unless you put chemicals, you can't grow anything. And the chemicalized food is damaging our health. That's why so many hospitals, so many cancer cases, and BP and sugar has become so normal. And this is what is happening. And big destruction is happening for the humanity.
Right. Very well said. Like you have put it in the right way, that we have destroyed this natural cycle of the earth and the plants, and the way they grow trees, these plants and trees, the leaves which go into the soil back again, and the cycle is formed. So we have completely disturbed that. So do you agree that there's a need to focus on this, and this needs to be stopped?
100%.
And if yes, how?
See, just like following what our tradition was teaching us. That means cow-based farming in India, probably camel-based farming in Rajasthan, probably some horse-based farming in elsewhere where horses are in plenty. So you feed the crop remnants, and whatever is coming out of the animals, including milk, of course you will use it, and those remnants are transported back to the soil. And what is happening? We were earlier not buying any seeds, not buying any pesticide, not buying any fertilizers. So everything was available. You are so self-sufficient, like what Gandhi said, the village was so self-sufficient, and Grama Swarajya was just happening the way. And our health was just coming as a free gift when you were with the nature. The milk from the Deshi cows is supposed to be A2 milk. Now the entire world is talking about A2 milk, Deshi cows, indigenous food and all that. So those milk will have the proteins and nutrients very close to the humans. So after mother milk is the best, nothing to lead it. So after mother milk, the cow milk is supposed to be the best, and not the milk actually, the manifestation of milk to curd, ghee and buttermilk was used. So Krishna has not stolen the milk, but the butter. So that means you churn, you make it a curd, make it a nice lactobacillus rich probiotic drink, and you churn it nicely with the wood and make a nice buttermilk which is so soothing on your gut bacteria. So from mouth to your outer, you have crores and crores of bacteria. So when you just put those buttermilk, those curd, the bacteria which is inside is getting nice friends, like you get your friends from abroad somewhere. Like they welcome you, and all the gut bacteria is maintained. So the food, whatever you eat, cashew or whatever rich food that you eat, is not consumed by the body. It is consumed by the microbes in your gut, and it is converted to energy. That means what you are feeding to your tummy should be organic and close to nature. If you put chemicals in your body and you think I am getting this stomachache, vomiting, IBS and 100 other things, it cannot be solved with medicine. So your body is already suffering, you are putting another antibiotic or another medicine. How can it, when you have pain, you have to rest it or redo it. When you put another pain, it is adding to it. That's why modern medicine is not able to give cure for many diseases. So what you have to do? You have to simply follow many things what elders were doing, and few things may not be possible because of the modern age. That anyway you can use it. But unwanted, unscrupulous usage of fossil fuels, coal, burning, celebration of birthdays with so much of power, and to produce power, how much of energy is being used, and you simply throw away your cloth and vehicle and buy a new thing. That's not required. Now, if you are really wise, and if you really wanted your children and your progeny to survive in this earth, you should meticulously use and think of resources. Only then it is available for the next generation.
So you mean to say we have limited resources and we have to be very wise while we use them, right?
100%.
Very well said, very well said. I really agree with you. Now my second question is that why was there a need of using fertilizers in India? We'll talk about India. So we brought green revolution. Was it really required?
See, there were famines in India, not just in 60s. We started this green revolution because we had a severe famine, big famine they call, Bengal famine or whatever, in 1960s. So we thought there were some starvation, deaths or probably, I don't know how many, but there were there. But India faced famines not just in 1960, but in these thousands of years many times. That has been neutralized because we had several resources and the basic indigenous knowledge as to identify what kind of measures that we had to take when there is a famine. So we used to draw water from a 30 feet well or from a flowing water. See, when the famine will come, when there is no water continuously for a few years, because you can't grow vegetables or fruits or grains, or you can't feed the cattle, and that was happening. So what happens when the table is disturbed, water table is disturbed only up to a depth of 30 or 40, whatever. The shallow wells will not go so deep like we put a bore well 1000 feet in 2 hours and draw water from there, and all that. That's not happen. So even if one rain comes, suddenly it will replenish and suddenly the famine is gone.
Right.
Till then, how to survive, what to eat, what kind of tubers, what kind of leaves, what kind of food, how to survive, everything was known to our elders. That's why they survived all these thousands of years.
Yeah. It's not just the 1960s famine, but there have been many in past, but they survived.
They survived. So this survival of the fittest, the knowledge is very important, which is lost because of Green Revolution. And Green Revolution, as you said, has brought a lot of hybrids and lot of chemicals, a lot of pesticides and lot of disease together. And they were saying you should use only 50 kg nitrogen or 20 kg or whatever, and there is no control.
Correct.
And they say you spray only once or twice. Farmers will spray 20 times because they can't control, because the pests are becoming more wild and more stronger. As you keep on spraying, the next generation is becoming stronger. You can't get it, and you add new chemicals which are very carcinogenic, which are very dangerous. And they are just going into our food chain and we are eating it and we are getting stomach pain and all. It may be indication of your upcoming cancer, we don't know. You simply think that it is a stomach pain and you put some brufen or painkiller and you are happy, and after 4 years you will end up in a cancer hospital. So why villages are getting more cancers now? Earlier only city people are getting, because there were no pesticide usage, no chemical usage in the villages. Because of the pollution and the kind of pressure that you face in the cities, people used to get many diseases, including cancer or whatever.
Correct.
Now villages are waiting, because after the Green Revolution, they started spraying meticulously on the plants.